So today we're doing a little bit of garden maintenance, but first we need to take a look at the tripod because something took a dump on the tripod. It happens. I don't know what this is, some kind of slug or some kind of insect, doesn't matter. It's not a problem. We will just clean it off. I could take it into the house, but I often forget. Oh, come on. Can you not? Oh, it's still there. I need to get something. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, now I have to have it on my hands. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now we can start. Okay, so we would start here. I want to clear this whole area. I want to make trying to avoid disturbing any big spider webs and stuff like that. I don't mind them, but I want to reduce this tremendously. We need more light that gets into the greenhouse because this is a health issue for the cacti because the light doesn't come in, and I have a lot of them on the ground, cacti on the lower part here on the shelf, and they just need to get light, so this needs to be removed. So let me put the tripod down and then we'll start just a little bit. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, get some of the tools, and then we'll remove a little bit. First had to clean the hands of the slug dump. Okay, yeah, this is something that I should have done a while ago, but I thought maybe the brushes insulate a little bit, but it's a bad idea. It just takes away too much light. You might not lose as much heat on the side, but it's just bad for the cacti. So I get the scissor and then we cut it off. Okay, let's get started here. These are blackberries and nettles mostly. Might also have some robinia roots that are growing down there. We might have to remove, but we will see. Everything that comes up will be removed here. I just want light. We will, in the next couple of months, we will get us light, because the way it is now, I can't continue to breed. I only have a limited amount of time where the muscles work after the Lyme, so we gotta make it count. I rather want to do this more often than long videos, because it is hard for me to stand long time with the muscle problems. Oh, there's a spider web. I'll go somewhere else. We have so much stuff. I don't want to make the spider homeless. We can always get to that spot later on when the spider has found another place or has been eaten, whatever. I don't care. I just don't want to, I try to garden around all the insects that are there. Very often when I pick something up, for example, when I want to move a cactus into the house, I put it up and see that there's a lot of life below. Then I put it down again. Come back later when they are gone. I have time. I mean, when the frost is here, then of course you got to do something. But apart from that, I don't mind. Let me put the tripod a little bit further behind. Okay. This bush. Should have done this a while ago, but life was so complicated. I did a lot of videos in the last days where I just talked about the situation. Bad stuff. Haven't been in such a situation before, like where everything is, I don't know. So we're trying to get out of the winter depression by being in the garden all winter. It's just not possible to do this hobby without controlling the environment. We need light. Light is the number one rule, number one thing that we need. So we will cut all the brushes, all the trees, everything. It takes a lot of strength for me to take down trees. I only do one or so per day if I take them down. Yeah. So we will just split it up, do little videos every now and then. I hate blackberries. Blackberries are the worst. I don't know what's like what countries they were originally from, but I see them going crazy in all kinds of different countries or continents. If you had these blackberries in Australia, I'm not sure if they have them there, but if they do, I'm sure they have a problem with them. It's a really bad, like, invasive plant. It might be endemic here, but it doesn't mean it doesn't go crazy in the garden, you know. And not only the garden, the whole area here is full of blackberries. I wanted to do this for a couple of years now, but every year something else happened. 2023, Snoopy. Last year my marriage. So this has been a project that I wanted to take on for a very long time, and I'm proud that I'm doing it now. You know? Right now everything costs me a lot of power, energy. But I realized I need to get out of this hole, so we will have to do this, you know. And hopefully this will make good content for the channel. There will be regular videos of just garden maintenance. It's just what is part of this hobby. You cannot do it without making sure you always get light, because if you don't get involved, the trees around will take over at some point. We already had that here, and nothing had flowered in that time. There was a big tree right beside me here, like a Christmas tree kind of thing, like a Douglasia. That thing took all the light. On one hand it was great because when there was storm, it absorbed all the wind. In summer it kind of like took away the heat, but it also meant that the house and everything around it were in total darkness most of the time. So since then I try to keep the trees away from the house, and the greenhouses also, in particular, actually. So here's a piece that belongs to the greenhouse. We will reattach that later. I feel sorry for all the like insects and animal life that now is disturbed by me. I'm really a weird guy. I just try to leave the insects alone. It's their life too, like they live here too. they have the same right. I mean, of course I can do what I want, but when I have another chance, when I have another option, I always chose that. I decide like to work around them. I wouldn't have to. I could just do whatever I want. It's not a sign. I think it's a sign of strength to look after the more vulnerable, the weaker creatures. It's no strength for me. It doesn't mean that I'm strong when I can just, you know, turn everything into a cement landscape. It's not strength. It's strength to do this hobby with insects around. This morning I saw a documentary on the puffin populations in Iceland that are dwindling, that are constantly being reduced because they don't find enough food. In that case, it is probably related to plankton that is missing, because a lot of fish that eat plankton are food for the puffins. But it's the same problem outside the sea. All living, like there are so many animals that depend on insects as food source. So I do my best to not make it worse. That's the very least I can do. The area here where I live, a lot of it is natural. Not like, I would wish that it would be a little bit less, because you see how it goes. But I still try to keep it natural, like as much as possible. But at some point you need to get involved, otherwise you have the trees that surround the house are everywhere. Can't do that. So removing this will take a few days on both sides. We have it on both sides. Just want to get started today. Just want to introduce this new type of video where we're doing garden maintenance. It's just so necessary. I can't stay in the house all the time. I mean, I have health problems, but it makes it. I go crazy when I stay inside. It makes my depression so much worse when I don't film. So I'm trying to use this as a good, like, mental health tool. It just gives you a good feeling to do something. And when we're done with the greenhouse, we continue around the greenhouse. There's so much, like, we have all these robinia trees that need to be removed. We will do all that. All for the channel. Over the winter we will sow out. We will do this because in summer we can't do it because there's this kind of moratorium where you can only take down trees because, like, in winter or autumn, because the animals are nesting, like the birds are nesting. So we will do that in winter. This will be great. We will have so much more light in the greenhouse. This is absolutely necessary. So here, this is where this piece is missing. We will try to fix the greenhouse too. Do little repairs and all that stuff. I want to use this channel as my daily journal, that kind of stuff. I will talk about private stuff too. I have nobody to talk very often, so you will have to listen. I'm sorry. And you know, today I realized maybe I'm just a loner kind of guy. Every now and then, when I'm taking Mika for a walk and I meet someone, like people that take their dogs too and wanna walk together, it's really hard for me. I'm not used to that, you know. The moment I realize I'm making friends, I say, "Ooh, I need to go home." Happened today. I think in my opinion it's because I lost so many, you know. At some point you don't want to make friends anymore because you lost a lot of them. I lost friends that have been buried by now, and I lost, like, you know, everything, like the wife and all that stuff. I think you get disappointed and you don't want to do it anymore, so you stay away. You just stay alone, solitary creature. And you know, on one hand, if I were happy, if I were super happy, then that would be great, but I'm not. So that makes no sense. It's crazy. It's crazy to behave like that. But on the other hand, I also like to be alone sometimes. It's a fine line. Being alone is not wrong. It's nothing bad with being alone. But feeling lonely is a whole nother story. Constantly pushing people away, and then I wonder why I feel lonely sometimes. It's ironic. So let's have a look. See what we did. Yeah, this looks pretty good, right? It's a start. We're not there yet, but it's okay. Let me put the camera up again. I want to at least have a little bit light here, and then maybe I will continue tomorrow. I took over this place here when I was a young man, and sometimes this whole jungle was really hard on me. Like, it's just so much responsibility. If you miss out a year or two, it's instantly getting out of control again. So it goes so fast, you know. I'm sorry, there was a spider. I'm going away, it's alright. Maybe we will take out the roots too, but for now I just want to have the light. Gives us a little bit more time to work in peace, you know, because when the winter comes now, we need the light. Otherwise you have fungal infections, you have the humidity in the greenhouse that would otherwise evaporate from the sun that gets there, pushes out the humidity. But when you only have the jungle around, it just doesn't work like that. It's constantly creating a humid environment, and that is bad. That is bad for most plants in a greenhouse, you know. A little bit of humidity is great, but that's a very fine line. Okay, this here. We have to take out the blackberry roots too, because they will otherwise come back so fast that it doesn't, you know, that it wouldn't take long until we have to do something again. I feel like an 80-year-old. my grandfather, when he was like living here, he did all the work himself at very old age. I always respect that greatly. So maybe through the daily work my health will be a little bit better too. Instantly changes the whole thing. You see that the light is it's instantly getting to the greenhouse again there. Yeah, it's a big difference. I like that. But first I want to take away the stuff that's here from the outer layer here. So I try to do this daily, or at least put 1 or 2 hours of work into something, you know, if it's sowing out or this here. But I would try to film the whole winter, doing videos daily, or at least I try. I also wanted to say I have started uploading videos from 2022. These look great. When I saw them and how much light there was in these clips, I decided, all right, we need to create more light now. But yeah, some of these are older, so don't think that I'm in the middle of the flower season here. Flower season is over. Now we have winter, and now we do this kind of stuff. But a lot of these videos are unpublished, and they go viral very often, so they will be posted as reels sometimes, you know, that kind of stuff. Just so you know, we need to go viral. It is important, because otherwise this whole operation is not sustainable. I realized we need to build a bigger greenhouse, for example, that kind of stuff, and I can't do it the way it is right now. I already talked about this a few times, but I walked through the collection and I realized when you get too many, you do not have the ability to give them all an equally good setting, and that is necessary, because sometimes you lose unique plants, because you lose overview, you lose track of them when you have too many. Too many aren't usually the problem, but you need to have they all have an equally good spot. So you either need to reduce plants or get a little bit more space, and that's what I want to do, because I have just too many good plants where there's no alternative to raising them, because they could be all-time classics, you know. A lot of crosses with Amun-Re, that kind of stuff, and we need to give them a good setting. Otherwise it will result in failure, and I don't like failure. Failure is something that is often the result of bad work ethics, you know. And I saw that, like, through the depression. I kind of lost the daily pattern that I usually do to succeed. It takes a lot of daily tasks, tiny tasks, to succeed, and that is how I did everything in life. I split it up in smaller tasks, and we need to do all these tasks. It needs to be like automation. There needs to be some kind of routine that happens every day, and when you do that, success comes naturally. You just can't help but becoming good at what you do. You need to create the setting, and creating the setting is just work. It's daily work, because the environment comes back on a regular basis. You just, when you're a cactus breeder or a breeder of any kind, you have to compete with the environment. The environment tries to compete for like the nutrients for the light, for the space. So it is important, it is absolutely crucial to get the environment under control, meaning light, meaning humidity. We need to make more, we need to improve the way the humidity gets out. It needs to get out faster. Maybe we need to build something structured with a roof, that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty, you know, health-wise, it's not going good. So this will be interesting. In the next few weeks we will take the chainsaw. Chainsaw hasn't been used in a couple of years, I think. I bought one, a Husqvarna, and I wasn't happy with it, with the way you change the chain. I felt like the steel chainsaw was so much better in regards to the way the chain is changed when you lose it, when it slips off while you use it. Then the Husqvarna needs a lot more time to get it up again. At least for me, it wasn't working for me. I tried and I constantly lost the chain. So I might have to get me a new chainsaw, but we will first try to get the old one under control. You know, we will at least try it to make it work. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just incompetent. Could also be. I'm just not like someone who grew up with chainsaws. It took a long time. Had to learn it. You know, you have to do these courses and all that stuff. But I just am not so used to that Husqvarna system. On the other hand, I have a Husqvarna motor like weed whacker, something like that, and it's awesome. It is really great. So it's mostly the way that the chain is changed when it slips down. And I mean, a lot of people use Stihl. Stihl is a great brand. Next chainsaw that I get is one with a battery pack. I'm just tired of these fuel things that are constantly needing something. Had a lot of problems with the spark plug. Then I had to change the type of fuel that I use, oil, all these things, you know. I'd rather use something that I can just charge on the battery, like on the electricity. And that's what we will do. I really feel sorry for all the insects that are now losing their place to live. You know, you always gotta keep that in mind. Everything you do, it has effects for the tiny living things that are usually living there too. So everything I do, I try to do in balance. When I was younger, I didn't care about these kinds of things. Didn't matter if some kind of if there's enough green places for insects. I just didn't know that it matters, you know. But I realized they matter to the planet. They matter as food for all the other animals. So I want to just live responsibly. And I'm not saying you need to do that too. I just wanna, when I talk about this kind of stuff, I do it to remind everyone that we are not living alone here. That there's so much tiny stuff that you don't see. That depends on whether you have a natural land or if everything is a lawn. You know, I have no lawn. I mean, I have grassland and that kind of stuff. And it's a problem because there's so many ticks in it. But the natural land is great for all the living things. In most of my videos, you can hear the birds chirping in the background. just try to listen in some of the shorter videos where I just show flowers in summer. And there's a reason for that, you know. There's a reason why I have so many birds around still. Right below there's a pretty active street, so I'm not completely off the grid, you know. But things are all right here because I make sure that they stay all right, because I want to have some kind of places where there's stuff to eat, being it insects or berries or whatever, you know. All these blackberries are a great source of food in summer. I think I gotta stop soon. I don't feel my leg anymore. But on the other hand, I don't feel it when I'm in the house either. As long as I don't have to walk, it's all right, you know. And I had a bad case of Lyme disease. And when I say one, I mean a few, you know, because every time you live in such a place like I do, you can't escape ticks, so you get a few tick bites a year, and one can already be enough and you have the Lyme again. And at some point it just screwed up my whole body. Took a very long time to get over it. Had times when I couldn't even talk. Jesus Christ, this jungle. It's just so much. It's everywhere. This is just a small part of the garden. This is what we're doing next. At least we start, you know, slowly. There are all kinds of trees in there. Some robinia, some birch, I think, or something like that. Some oak, blackberries, all that stuff, and we must go through. Now look at this, isn't this great? It's instantly a lot more light. You can see the plants down there. Only thing I'm a little bit worried about now is the cold weather in winter. You lose a lot of heat here. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. This is more progress than I've. So now let's take a look at this thing here. So this is keeping the panels up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's hard to. This greenhouse needs to be replaced or at least repaired. Still always slipping down. I don't think this is usable anymore long term, or at least I need to put something that keeps it up. Yeah. This is nice. Yeah, so this here, we need to clean that up soon to bring in more light. Something that we will do in the next month or so. Trying to get the pressure cleaner. Maybe we can pressure clean it off. Yeah, and this thing here, need to put something here that it keeps up the panels. And this isn't a super great greenhouse, but right now it's the only one. I mean, it's not the only one that I have, but it's the only one that I have at this spot, and I need it because otherwise it's even worse with the space problems. Okay. I'm not sure, should I do a little bit more? Okay, a little bit more, but then we stop. I want to sow out too. Then we will get the greenhouses ready for winter. That is something that I haven't done yet. Still have plans out because I'm constantly busy with Kami and Mika. I just don't have the time very often. But this is pretty good. This is a start. Pretty good. Okay, let's take this one down. And then we already have a little bit more light. See what you can achieve with just a little bit of work every day. Oh, there's a spider. I'm sorry, spider. I'll come back another day. There's a little, I don't know, centipede, whatever. Don't care. I'll come back another time. There's always work here. I can just continue to work at a different spot and it will be alright. So after this part here we stop because I can't feel my muscles anymore. Okay, this is great, but everything's full of roots. We need to do these too. Plastic. Oh, I stepped on a plastic pot. We're taking this with me. Okay. Yes, and now we have light. Let's see from the inside. Yeah, you see, makes a difference. Other side still super dark. Over here. So this is good. We will stop now. We did our duty. The rest will follow tomorrow. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, I have a Patreon somewhere in the description. And yeah, please subscribe because I do this stuff all the time. Thank you. Bye.